Hi, my name is Harry Wojak, and we are showcasing my new album called Find Your Tribe. Well, you know what? Originally, when I came up with the name, I thought it was sort of more of a personally related thing. But the more I've played with this band, I would have to say the band is the tribe. Yeah, and they've been like a second family to me. It's been really wonderful. Ian Martin, who was the producer of the album, and if you look around you, in the studio is like, this is a great place to make some music. And Ian really, I'm so grateful that he took this on as a project. Well, the first person I met was Chris Bradley. He plays bass for me, and he introduced me to his long-term friend, Mike Onyu, on drums. Mike played with us for the better part of last year, but recently he's a major in the military. He got posted to England. So a long-term friend of mine, MJ Ilchek, has come and taken over the reins on drums. Kyler Schogen, who has his own band, the Kyler Schogen Band, comes and plays guitar for us, and he's phenomenal. Nick Samoil is our keyboard player, 19-year-old Nick. Well, he's 20 now, but and the lovely and talented Amanda Harrison sings backup vocals for us. So whole family, all six of us.
What are your influences?
I like Ben Harper as an artist. I mean, he can rock it out. And David Gray is another big influence of mine. Obviously, a lot of the old traditional bands, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles as well. And but I'm as influenced by classical music as I am by Led Zeppelin. Really, music has been a huge part of my life. Yeah. So it's interesting what comes out in your music, and maybe on some level I'm influenced by things I don't even know. With my first album, it was a lot more autobiographical than this one. This one, I think, decidedly more sort of a third-person perspective, and just the first album was a lot more about just my own personal experiences, and this album, I think, was I just drew my influences from current events. So thematically, it didn't kind of follow it like a simple or singular course, but there was a lot of influences sort of out that I drew from the outside, and try to pull them into a context. And I think the interesting thing about that is I hope so anyway, that it allows people to relate to the music as something they can identify with as well.
How would you describe the sound of the album?
It's a rock album.
Rock album.
Yeah, it's definitely a rock album. We used, I mean, if you look around the studio, and Ian's got some, top-notch gear, and but we used a lot of vintage equipment to get that vintage tone, right? But really high-end equipment to capture it. And he ran everything through what they refer to as analog chains, as opposed to, like, we recorded everything digitally, but we wanted to get one of those authentic sort of, I don't know, like when you put the LP on from the 70s, and it's got that rich, warm feeling, right? But it's definitely sort of a blues rock influenced type album.
So why should people come to your show?
Well, I mean, for what music's given me in my whole life, which is, I mean, it would take longer than this interview to kind of describe that for me. If I in some way can give that back to people, that's really what it's about. It's about sharing, right? I mean, coming in the celebration of music and the opportunity. And I mean, I know we're all busy, we're all running full out, but you know what? Let's all get together. Let's just sit back. Let's enjoy some music. Enjoy each other's company, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.